In today's video, we're going to be looking at a couple of books that are a little bit different than the other books that I've showed on my channel, but I was so impressed by the accessibility and ease of reading that these books presented that I needed to do a video to share with you guys. Historically, the videos that I've done have been on books that are mostly just affordable at their initial release, or books that you have to go and get secondhand at increasingly higher dollar amounts. So these two books I purchased for about $40 together. And if you don't recognize it, these are the books High Magick, and the second book on the right is Angels and Archangels by Damien Echols. I'm going to go ahead and just show you the slip cases here, or the dust jackets. That's what they look like on Amazon. Not a huge fan, to be honest, of the covers necessarily, but the hardbacks by themselves, they look great. But it's more about the content. It's not about the cover, as the old saying goes. So looking at these books, you can buy them separate, but because of how close they are related, I recommend getting them together, starting with High Magick, and then if it interests you, Angels and Archangels. Now there is some overlap between these two books. High Magick gives you a lot of the history and the, almost sounds weird to say, but the demystifying of magic, as far as working with energy, breath work, rituals to get you started. I've never seen it presented in such an easy to understand manner, with detailed steps on what you're doing and why you're doing it, including the pronunciation and vibration of the names. From there, if you want to pursue a study of Angels and Archangels, you can do that with the second book. So just kind of give you a quick overview here. It's got some, it's just the paper itself. It's nothing textured, but it's got some nice silver looking end papers. And it's got some introductions from some famous individuals. And this is, of course, the book, obviously, High Magick. It's based on ceremonial Golden Dawn type magic. Why learn it, what it is and what it isn't. Why spell books don't work. Training your mind. You can see it really gets away from a lot of that online, give us all your money. This is how magic works. You're gonna shoot fireballs out of your hands. I mean, hopefully nobody thinks that by now on this channel or on my Instagram page. But yeah. Again, it's all black and white. There's no color, which is also why it's so affordable. And it's just a lot of stuff that some of the newer books kind of assume you might already know or kind of gloss over. And he was wrongfully convicted of murder and put in prison, and including solitary confinement, for about 18 years. So during this time, he basically practiced ceremonial high magic for that time, sometimes up to 8 hours a day. And he's sharing these results, but he also, of course, encourages you to change things to meet your needs and gives you a good starting place. And here's some examples about visualization, and early on in this book. That's why I recommend High Magick first, because he talks about the visualization, how to better your visualization skills if you aren't a very visual person already. Vibrating the names, how to pronounce them, and then how to end the rituals as well. Lesser Banishing Ritual, the pentagram, invoking, goes into a little bit about the history of the pentagram. And yeah, it kind of gives you a couple little small things at the end. And then if you want to look a little bit further, and the only thing I don't like about the presentation of these books as a side note is there's nothing on the spines. So if you don't like the dust jackets, you're just gonna have a blank spine. I kind of put these on my more available books on my bookshelf, so it's not a huge deal. It's just kind of a presentation thing, in my opinion. This one's a little bit heavier. It did come with that part folded over, but it's not a big deal. It's not the author's fault or anything. He's also got some other books: Life After Death, Yours for Eternity, and High Magic, which is what we just looked at. Now this one was, again, I've seen some reviews on this one, and again, it kind of like High Magic, but focusing on angels and archangels, which is not something from a Bible standpoint, but more of energy and higher forms of energy. And the archangels and the elements, how they correspond to the tree of life, the zodiac, and tarot. And then talks about some prep work for actual practicing of rituals, mindfulness, meditation, some meditation exercises. And then this is where a lot of the overlap happens with the other book: Pentagram, Kabbalistic Cross, Lesser Banishing Ritual. I mean, you could get this book, Angels and Archangels, by itself. But I recommend both because he did a really good job with the first book to kind of get you associated with, what magic is and what you'll be looking at, what you'll be working with. Gives you some of the sigils of the archangels, some of their visualization robes, what they're holding, their seasons, the sensations you should be feeling. Again, that goes back to the visualization in the first book. Then he goes into all the regular angels, Gemini, Taurus. This gets into the zodiac portion, Sagittarius, and then what their correspondence is with the tarot and the benefits you could get from them. And then after that, again, we get into the rituals. You saw there the pentagram. So there's some repeat there. And then the last, maybe the last quarter of the book goes into talismans and sigils, air magic, water magic, and then advanced rituals. This is really, if you're not looking for the history, which is a good portion of the book here, but again, read the whole thing. It's definitely worth it. And it keeps your attention. It's not a hard read at all. I've sat upstairs and just figured I'd maybe read for 20 minutes, and I've read for an hour and a half. So it's very well done. Lots of good diagrams, and then it even goes into the Shem operation of the 72 angels. You can see the diagram there. Give you an idea. You can always go online and find a more detailed picture with colors and everything if you're into that. But yeah, I just wanted to do a video because I felt like the interest in esoteric, hermetic, and the occult in general is surging like never before. And I think a lot of that is people's desire to see something beyond the physical plane and to step away from traditional religion. So these books, if that sounds like you, or even if you've been interested in the occult for years, pick these up. It may help you to speak to people that have questions about the occult in a more basic term, to kind of help get them started. So thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy.